Blank Blue definitely are looking like the team to beat in this matchup. Bin Chickens, they've lost 0-4 against Dignity, they've lost 0-4 against Legacy, and they had a forfeit loss against the Sydney Drop Bears. So far they are winless. They're doing the Tainted Minds of last season.
Today is the day, Jordan.
Tainted Minds?
Yes, did they not draw?
They did. They went 0-19, so they didn't go 0-20, and that's what Bin Chickens are trying to avoid here today as well.
They've got 2 weeks to work with, and this is what do they go? Yeah, 0-4 Dignity. One was a forfeit, then they lost to Legacy. So, to be fair, this is a pretty tough game for them.
Yeah.
But at least maybe they can find one here, or at worst they have next week as well.
Something to be said for Blank Blue as well, in that they haven't been able to find a 4-0 this season so far at all. They've had 3-1s against Legacy, Dignity, and Tainted Minds. So today should be their best opportunity to get the 4-0. Obviously, Bin Chickens really haven't gotten anything going so far this season. They've had some more roster changes again. QVN coming in for Lush, who's now no longer on the roster. Styrel back in from last week. I think it was Sad Boy playing for Bin Chickens. So they've had a very, very random change-up kind of a roster. But let's see what they can do here. If they can get a map off Blank Blue, I'll be impressed. But I don't think that it's going to be possible here. I think Blank Blue are out for blood.
Well, the Bin Chickens IRL, Jordan, they're a scrappy bunch, those Ibises, kicking scraps to live. Though they didn't start off that way, I'm sure. Before Bins were around, they ate something else.
They didn't eat Bins?
No. So, look, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And we're going to swap off Sign, probably for the best for now. Aita, down low. The Bin Chickens, 3 point.
Blank Blue have just decided to completely give that one up, and Signed obviously not getting anything off that initial fight. Decides he wants to play Farah here, recognizes the composition that Bin Chickens are running, and knows that it's going to be a good choice. And so, the attempt at a recapture here from Blank Blue.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult for Bin Chickens to deal with the Farah once again. Beta's there, sure. You know, maybe Styrel can do something, but overall, it's going to be tough. But they're already up to 25%. That's probably 25% more than what they would have got if they'd had that first fight and Blank had won. So they're finding the picks here, and they're going to force Blank back. So not a bad start at all.
No one seemed to care at all that Sign was behind them. He got shots into the back. Admittedly, you know, you probably would have liked to have seen Sign get a pick there, but not going to happen. Atar's also swapped off now onto the Genji. Blank Blue doing a lot of toing and froing between their heroes at the moment.
Yeah, pick some. Any 6 will do, friends. Just get in there and have a fight. But the Bin Chickens looking real strong right now. Can they continue that form through this battle? Well, Ada's the first one to get a pick. Bus throws out the Earth Shatter. And it's going to slow down Blank for a little while at least.
Oh, Signed.
Oh, man. Look at that.
Almost got
through. Looking for another. I don't even know if he's going to get a chance to get the picks because the rest of the team are finding the kills. And at 73%, Blank finally bring it back. Yeah,
but for how long is the real question here. Dragon Ball combo is up for the Bin Chickens, Styrel and Beta. It's all on them for this fight. QVN also does have Rally, which is going to be quite helpful, but not necessarily the win condition in this fight for Blank Blue, or rather for Bin Chickens.
Rally is popped. It's time for battle, Jordan. They want to get back onto the point. Where are they going to fight? That's the real question. Dragon Blade out from Aita, but he goes down to QVN. Great work from him. Going to go down to Beta as well. Beta finds Adam as well. So they should recapture this point. It's going to get to about 40% or thereabouts. Before they do, as Signed eventually does go down. 75% now is where Bin Chickens are at. Potential for them to bring this through to 99, Jordan, before Blank throws in the rest of these ultimates and probably swaps it back. They at least have the advantage.
Bin Chickens is playing really, really well around their win conditions. They know that they can't be taking a fight out in that courtyard where there's a lot of high ground openings for Sign. They go straight onto the point, force him in with them, and that's playing around their own advantages.
Leverett going to go down straight away to Atar. That's definitely less than ideal. God finds one as well. Signed. Waiting, probably does not need to use the barrage right now. And just holding back, waiting. Going to use that for the next fight when it comes around. They have a lot of work to do here after they capture the point. Only up to 40% right now, still 60 to go. The Bin Chickens on the other hand talking about win conditions, John. They just need to win one fight.
One fight indeed. Waiting for Styrel to get that Graviton Surge up once again. Not sure if Beta's going to decide to throw out the Dragon Strike first and then charge another one up. A little risky because you could end up missing the timing window there for the combo if Bin Chickens can't get a lot of damage out onto Beta. But let's see if they just run straight back onto the point. Well, that's not going to be the case. Sign 3 kills
man.
with the Rocket Barrage. Absolutely shuts down the Bin Chickens.
They throw out, was that it? That was the only ultimate they had to use there. Just the one. Adam coming through with support as well. Just trying to defend Signed, and does so very, very well. We often see the Pharaohs using a barrage and getting picked up in the process, so great to see the support coming out there.
Yeah, this is going to be the fight that matters though, Ben. Hunter does have Transcendence.
Or they're going to need to pop it sooner rather than later, I suspect. Up to 87%. They probably only need to win this fight as well, Jordan. Let's be real. Throws out the Dragon Blade, finds 2. Beta lever it down. QVN down. And one more going to go across to Signed as well. Adam on the point, has the self-destruct, doesn't even need it. Let's just hit Q and do a backflip out of there anyway.
Really good work from ATAR, putting pressure onto Beta when he knows that he has to get that combo across. I'm not sure that Beta was even able to actually get the Dragon Strike in the position that he wanted it to, because it was going flying off into the air, and I can't imagine that the Graviton Surge had hit there. Not only does ATAR really pressure out Beta, makes it his life hell, and then eventually kills him, he also gets rid of a couple more past that. So very, very nice stuff there from ATAR. Does secure the win for Blank Blue in round 1. Was fairly close, but all in all, Blank Blue, they're the ones with the point on the board, and Bin Chickens got one more chance here on Lijiang Tower. Yeah,
a few changes coming across the board right now. Genesis onto the Zenyatta. You can see Beta as well over to a Pharah. See how this plays out for them. The thing for me, Jordan, was just great to see the confidence and I suppose the patience coming out from Blank Blue on attack. You saw they didn't even contest the first point. They changed their team comp, went around again, gave it a second shot. Well, I guess the first shot, second time around.
So McCree out here for Signed. Always like to see the McCree, one of my favorite heroes, Ben. It's a good choice against the Pharah, but doesn't necessarily always work so well because his time to kill is quite high unless you're hitting headshots, you know, double being something like that.
You gotta click the heads, Jordan.
You need to hit 3 shots, and when there's a Mercy, not in this case, but when there's a Mercy, it's quite difficult to kill that Pharah sometimes.
Doing a pretty good job to stay alive right now. Adam pushing through, no Diva this time onto the Zarya instead. Going to find Bus, no more Ryan for the Bin Chickens. And the rest of the team for Blank Blue going to push through, trying to find picks, trying to slow everyone down. Genesis down, lever it down, QVN down as well. Signed actually finding all 3 of those picks.
Yeah, gone pretty crazy actually on McCree, up to 95%. Needs to be careful he doesn't get booped off here. Obviously doesn't have much mobility on that hero. That's one of the major deficits that McCree does suffer from, where you might ordinarily see something like a Hanzo Widowmaker. McCree doesn't really have the mobility, doesn't even have the damage at range either, but considering we're fighting in quite close range, McCree not a bad choice here for Blank Blue.
4, almost 5 ultimates as they throw out the combination, as you said. Finds 2, finds 3, finds 4. ATAR, great plays, easy done. 2 ultimates for a wipe, they'll take that any day of the week. Hunter's about to have Trance as well. So right now, by the time they even get back, Gob's going to be very close to the Earth Shatter. Up to already 50% for Blank Blue. Potential for them to close this out in the next couple of fights.
Definitely, and someone on Bin Chickens is going to have to deal with Signed popping out there with the Deadeye. Maybe going to have to be Beta because no one else really can get up there. There's no Diva available for Bin Chickens.
We need a bit of Graviton Surge into Riptide potentially here, or the Barrage, this time a lot more successful.
Yeah, there's the High Noon.
We need it. I guess it's almost 4 for 4 here, Jordan.
Well, it's actually quite critical.
QVN finds a pick. Is it going to be enough? No. Unfortunately, they've thrown out a lot into this right now. And you can see Adam chasing down the Junkrat. So overall, probably one would suggest that goes in the favor of Blank Blue. And now just one more attack remains here for the Bin Chickens. They're going to need to push into the point here with Genesis even.
Zenasis?
Yeah, on the Trance.
Not sure. Really hard name, that one.
Look,
but
I just read it differently. I'm just bad. I'm sorry. I can't help it. One day we'll get there. I apologize.
Let's see what Bus can do really here. It all lies on him. That's a great pick. Gob's down. No shield available here. Bin Chickens, they might be able to stall this one back.
Beta doing what he can. Actually going to find a great pick there onto Frogger as well. They're going to go down. Adam, so good on the Zarya. Sign pushing through, finding pick after pick as well. Doing the damage. Going to wait for the shield to end. And And then really, what can you do? Styrel going to go down. Overtime ends 100-0. Blank Blue 2-0. Will pick up Li Zhangtao up against the Bin Chickens.
Yeah, that was a really, really big pick there. Getting rid of Gob, I thought that was going to allow Bust the opening to get the Earth Shatter down. Complete team wipe there onto Blank Blue, and Bin Chicken start to cap up a little bit. Even then, it was always going to be tough because they were at such a deficit. But the Earth Shatter didn't really do anything from Bust. I saw that he used it somewhere, but I'm not sure really what happened with it.
You hear the hammer down, right? And you're like, where is everyone? And most people are still standing up.
And then Gob gets rezzed. He gets a great Earth Shatter down, and that's the fight over, essentially. ATAR just cleans things up. So Blank Blue 2-0, pretty convincing there on Li Zhangtao. What we expected to see, I mean, look, Bin Chickens, it's not been their season. So far, they've not won a map. We're probably expecting them to not win a map at all this season as well.
I'm ready for them to win a map today, Jordan. I'm ready. I want it. Today can be the day. They can bring it. I don't know which map it's going to be, but I want it to be one. Look, I guess, to be fair, that they did okay on the first round here at Lijiang, but again, if you go back and you see the way that Blank chose to play, it really did feel like Blank were in control the entire time. They knew what was going on. They chose to give up the point to get that better team composition. They didn't feed across any ultimate charge or anything like that. And here, on the second point, they were just so convincing.
Yeah, and like what I was saying, like Bin Chickens, I don't want to see them kind of fall apart as a roster because we saw, you know, obviously Tainted Minds last season. They had very, very similar issues. They weren't able to get a single map on the board. They inevitably got a tie. We don't know if Bin Chickens are going to do better or worse than that this season.
Hopefully better.
I don't really think it matters too much. There is always another season after this one. This year, Contenders Season 3, when we get there, it'd be great to see Bin Chickens back again and potentially with a new and improved roster. Tainted Minds have definitely looked better this season than they did in the last. There's always opportunities for Bin Chickens to do better than this season in the next.
Well, the point of Contenders is growth within the region, and we have definitely seen real growth here in Australia across even like the last 4 or 5 months of we're not even all the way through Contender Season 2 right now. The Drop Bears essentially have come from nowhere. When you looked at the region 6 months ago, it was Blank playing in Pacific. Now we have Blank Blue here in Australia, who we're watching today, who are doing pretty well. We have the Drop Bears, who are playing fantastically. We have Darksided, who played well up against the Drop Bears last season in the finals. We have Masterminds playing well. We have Legacy coming through. There's a lot going on. Kanga doing great work.
Kanga, Serenity as well, kind of
so
in the mix.
Even just in what is I know it sounds like I've listed like 2/3 of the teams playing Contenders Australia, but there's a good reason for that, and that's because those are the teams that have come through from Season 1 are still here in Season 2 and are playing quite well, have definitely improved across the board, and I feel like as a region we've really grown. So the more of this we see, by the end of the year, Jordan, by the end of Season 3, anything could be possible.
Yeah, definitely, but that's kind of what we were saying at the end of Season 1. Anything could be possible. Well, it was quite possible for Drop Bears to win. Now we're sort of thinking that Drop Bears might be on track for 2 from 2, but still, it's up in the air. Don't know until
totally
the Fat Lady sings.
I'm totally ready to be wrong
anyway,
at the finals. So,
Eichenwald, the next map.
Yeah.
Choice of Bin Chickens. They have not played it so far this season. I guess when you've lost Kings Road twice in a row, you might as well think, okay.
What's the worst thing that can happen, Jordan?
Yeah, let's roll the dice on Eichenwald.
Yeah.
And this was actually, you know, not a map that Blank Blue have huge successes on. They've lost on Eichenwald once, but I mean, this whole mode, I guess you'd call it hybrid, hasn't really been too great for Blank Blue. They've only got the one win, and that was on Kings Road, but they've lost once on Kings Road, lost once on Eichenwald. So if you were going to give a chance here to Bin Chickens to pick up a map, it's probably here. It's not going to be on Temple of Anubis or Volskaya. It's not going to be on those control maps, as we've already seen. This is their best chance, but realistic chance, maybe not.
2 tanks, and a Tracer, and a Pharah. Let's see how this goes up against Blank Blue, who are playing triple tank on defense. Behind 2 snipers. It's going to be pretty tough, actually, to get through this, to be perfectly honest, Jordan.
Indeed it is. ATAR here on Hanzo. Oh, it's not fun at all.
Storm Arrow is so tough to deal with.
Especially as a Winston, Ben, because like you just walk at him, you're trying to deal with a Hanzo, and he just chunks you for 500 HP. It's like, come on, how's this fair?
You literally just hold left click. You don't even need to keep clicking.
I'm like slapping you with a little wet noodle out of my Tesla cannon, and Hanzo's one-shotting me.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, but they're on the point. This is a good start. Rocket's gone down to QVN. That's the pick you want coming from your Tracer. The rest of the team going to be stuck underneath the building, but Adam comes through, finds Beta, D-Max Styrel. Genesis has gone down as well, and the Bin Chickens, unfortunately, looking like they're going to fall apart here on their first push.
Adam just being the cleanup duty there for
Yeah.
his team. Very, very fast Dragon Strike out from ATAR. QVN still trying to get some work done, but inevitably he'll drop, and quite late as well in the piece, which is going to allow Blank Blue to get their trickle back onto this point. Bin Chickens can't really attack without QVN alive. Beta is trying to put down some early damage, some artillery fire.
Look, Beta's got the barrage shortened, QVN's got the pulse bomb, Leverett's ready to go as well with the Valkyrie. Let's see if it's going to be enough to push them through. Valkyrie popped on defense by Frogger. Aja's been picked up as well by Bust. Beta over the top, throws it out, picks up God, but Anta cleans him back up. It's a 1-for-1 trade that time around. Frogger brings one back, Sign getting forced back as well. Still trying to get onto the point. Anta, look at that, great work. Coming through with a whole hog, finds QVN, looks to find another, gets the hook, won't get the pick by the looks of things, but it doesn't matter. Blank Blue will hold strong. 2 minutes on the clock right now, and Bin Chickens threw quite a bit at that.
It was Hunter and Adam that stood on that point so stoically. No one could push through them. Obviously, Beta threw out the rocket barrage, and that got rid of God, but he couldn't really follow up on it past that, and there was just not enough damage to deal with those big tanks that Blank Blue had left alive.
Zenith is going to go down to ATAR. Sign trying to find the pick onto Farah as well. It's been tough. Even tougher when the Mercy's there. He wants to find one of them. Ooh. Oh, there you go. The headshot will do. Beta goes
satisfying.
Down. Potential for Mercy to find the res, depending on where Beta ended up, but it's not going to happen. 1:20 now on the clock. Running out of time here. Blank Blue pushing forward, ever further forward. ATAR as well ready to go here with the Dragon Strike. Let's see whether this finds any picks or not, and whether Sign finds a pick.
Oh, if he would have hit that.
It's close, no cigar.
Going to be a big self-destruct. Does get rid of Hunter, that's huge.
This is the play, Jordan. This is what the Bin Chicken needs. They find 3. That should be 3 enough to find the point. Short of some epic plays coming out across the board by Blank on defense. Look, Frogger picks God back up, but Ada goes down. QVN still on the point. The Pulse Bomb almost ready. We'll see whether this gets thrown out potentially here onto God from behind. Whether it's needed or not is the real question. Holds on to it for now. Beta's picked up the kill in the meantime, and the point should surely now go across to the Bin Chickens.
Definitely looks like it's going to be going that way. Sign doing his best to keep it alive. Adam as well. Somehow Bin Chicken still being contested for this point. Blank Blue. Here comes a Dragon Strike as well. Adam, he's going to get dropped out of the mech there, but still alive, still buying time, and Sign is doing so much damage.
I can't help but feel, but this isn't how that plays out. Whatever happens, the Bin Chickens find the point. It's not the case now. 12 seconds on the clock. They're going to be forced onto the point. Zenis is going to be forced to use the trance to run across onto the payload and do what he can to keep his team going. Sign trying to find a pick. Adam's gone down to the Pulse Bomb. Beta finds one as well. Sign forced back, stays alive. The heal's coming out. We'll see whether Mercy can keep him alive for much longer or not. It's a 1-for-1 as well. Going back and forward. Beta going to swap across to the Doomfist.
Oh, they capped it.
The payload is captured, Jordan. They didn't need to do much, to be fair.
I don't know what Sign was doing there, but I think that he might have actually been trying to go for a 360. When he just grappled up onto the tower. But we'll have to see if he's going to continue on with that, as Bin Chickens now have capped out first.
That would be classic Blank Blue, wouldn't it?
It would be. Beta's on to the Doomfist, so there's that. Quite interesting. Obviously a bit of a tactic just to try and get onto the cap quite quickly because it was stally for a moment, but Sign is not going to enjoy it at all. Or well, maybe he will.
Or maybe, yeah. Beta, unfortunately, not going to be able to pick up the Widow for now. Second time's the charm. Sign going to go down. So does ATAR. Now that's both of the snipers going to go down to the Doomfist. It's good work coming out from Beta. Payload continues along as well. Glad we could just scoot across the gap there with the power of his Doomfist. This has been pretty good second phase coming out actually from the Bin Chickens, Jordan. They seem to have Blank's number right now.
Oh, that's a great shot from Signed. Never easy when you're that high above someone because you're looking at the horizontal and the vertical angles, but Signed is just hitting everything right now with the Widowmaker.
And only Zen on the payload.
Oh, Anta.
Going to go down to Anta.
He loves those 5 balls.
You're trying to dodge the Widow, who should be your public enemy number 1, and you actually go down to your counterpart.
Not a lot of time left now for Bin Chickens. Done well at least to get through the first point. But seems to have come a little unstuck now. Atar's got Dragon Strike available.
You can hear the headshot's not going to be enough for now. QBN needs a big ulti coming out here, Jordan. Needs a huge pulse bomb. Atar's a good pick, but Sign cleans him up straight away. Leverett goes down as well. This should be it, Jordan. 25 seconds on the clock. This push is not going to be successful from the Bin Chickens. They've got Xenesis ready to go once again with the Transcendence. But how often can you rely on your Zenyatta to use Transcendence to actually get onto the point? That makes life tough.
Last chance available now for Bin Chickens. I think it's actually going to have to be Beta to get on the point. Oh no, the Transcendence does come across, and like you say, Xenesis does manage to get there. But there's so much here for Blank Blue. Self-Destruct is going to come out. There'll be one from Adam as well in a second. And I don't think Bin Chickens are going to be able to do this now.
No, a lot of work to be done by the Bin Chickens, and just a little bit too much to ask, I suspect, coming out from them as they start to fall. Primal Rage going to be popped. The last hope coming out from Bust right now. Glob's found the mech there of Spiral as well. QBN goes down. Sign, really no one's in his space right now. He continues to fire shots into the Bin Chickens. And well, with Leverett going down, that should be that.
Should be, but the fight still continues here for Bin Chickens. They're giving it a crack.
That's it. That's it. That's game over. See you later. Gob's going to go down.
Wait for it.
There we go. There we go.
Takes a while.
Took a while, but the payload didn't actually get anywhere, so.
Did not move. It was sitting on 88.26 meters for quite a while, and that is indeed where it will end for Bin Chickens. Not an easy defense. They've got probably two options. First one is hold the first point, obviously.
Second one's hold the second point.
Second one is to just hold the gate, really. Because if they get through the gate, it's generally pretty easy to get under this bridge here. The next kind of choke point is just around that corner before the final point, but you really only have two choke points here for Bin Chickens.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
To play with.
100% right. And to be fair, the Bin Chickens used up quite a bit of time on the first point. So if Blank can get in there in any sort of half-decent fashion, get there with a couple of minutes on the clock, going to put them in great stead heading through to the second phase. Well, they were pretty convincing on Lijiang Tower. Real potential here for Eichenwald to be pretty similar, Jordan. Pretty similar indeed.
Would not disagree. UVM are going to be on the Tracer.
A lot of spare land down there. Play soccer.
Play soccer.
Cricket. Don't really play cricket in Germany, though, I suspect.
No.
Not a big cricket nation.
No, not really. I think they do have a cricket team. Probably not a very good one.
Well, at least they don't use sandpaper.
That cuts me deep.
You're a big fan, aren't you, of the Aussie cricket team?
Yeah. Don't mind a bit of cricket.
You have the Junkrat skin?
I do not.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I feel like...
a bit gutted, actually.
I feel like I'm actually letting the team down by not having it.
Yeah.
I don't really play Junkrat very often, but I feel like maybe I would play him more if I did have the cricket skin.
Need a bowling machine diva skin.
Yeah. That would be good if you could actually play cricket, wouldn't it? In the game. Look, I understand that.
Bowling machine Orisa.
Well, we have Lucio Soccer, Jordan. Maybe we can have Junkrat cricket. That's the next one. Let's follow Blank Blue out here on attack. Real opportunity for them to push through in quite a quick fashion. But Gob's going to be the first one to go down. So maybe this is going to slow the process. Adam demacked as well. Great start, actually, from the Bin Chickens. Blank Blue really just sort of walked out. Hoped for the best.
Yep.
Tried to find the picks, were unsuccessful.
Just the single healer out right now for Blank Blue, as Unta once again is going to be on to Roadhog. And that means if the focus fire is good from Bin Chickens, there's just not going to be quite enough healing to deal with that.
Later.
It's picked.
See you later. Do you like that one?
Yep.
Have I used that before?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. That's good. Beta's already got, look at this, already got Barrage, Jordan. That's so fast.
Should make it pretty easy to get a pick onto Frogger if Adam is asleep, not able to get that umbrella up in time.
Yeah, we've just got to watch out for Sign, though. Potential to get the headshot on. What is the great time? Throws it out. No sign to be seen, but Adam did jump into the middle of things. Will get demacked, however.
2 for 1.
So pretty costly, to be perfectly honest, here for Blank Blue. Bin Chicken's not doing half bad on defense right now. Actually, very impressed with what they're seeing. Still 2.5 minutes to work with, but every minute counts, every second counts. Because they've got a a bit of work to do here on defense. So if they can almost full hold or even full hold, Jordan, that would be a great start. But Hunter, that's going to make life tough.
Yeah, no res going to be available there for QVN. There is one, though, for Sign. Now player advantage. The side of Blank Blue, but some picks going back the way of the Bin Chickens. This fight is lasting for a very long time. Self-destruct, not going to do anything but dispatching of the Bongo. And Frogger is still keeping himself alive. Peter, well, he falls off the edge, or almost does. In the end, he's cleaned up by Adam. The Bin Chickens, they're still holding strong.
Yeah, the mech comes back as well for the Bin Chickens, so they've got that Diva there ready to fight once again. But this time, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Atar throws out the Dragon Strike, finds both the supports. No res available. Starl going to get demeched and picked up here very, very quickly. And at 1 minute 40, we're going to see a successful capture here from Blank Blue. They're going to have a bit of time as well. They don't really even have to go that far.
That's right. We talked about those 2 choke points that Blank Blue really had to get through to make their life a little bit easier. 1 down, 1 more to go. Just make sure they can get past this gate. Don't get sort of camped on the gate. And then they should be okay. 4 minutes is really a lot of time as well to push this through. Not got long to go. 67 meters or so.
Particularly, Jordan, when Anta has the whole hog. And that can, you know, the displacement effect of that. They can find a pick here. Look at that. Beta's gone down. QBN's gone down. That's that.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
It's really difficult now for Bin Chickens to do anything about this. Particularly when Sign is going to have the infra site. Pops almost immediately. And now Atar's going to jump up top. Has a little bit of work to do, but should be able to complete it. It's a pretty easy task for him to work with. And they're on the point right now that whole hog's being used as well. Sign just wants to find a pick or 2. He's found 1. Beta's about to get picked up as well. And that's that, Jordan. Nice little self-destruct over the top to clean things up.
The 360!
That was the 360, not a no-scope, however. It doesn't really work.
He's been looking for that all game. I'm very proud of you, Sign.
Captured it. I'm glad we captured it on the screen.
That was a great shot.
And Blank Blue, going to pick that one up as well. 2-1 to them on Eichenwald. And now they are 2-0 up, heading into halftime up against the Bin Chickens. Quite convincing, to be fair. Yeah,
really not a whole lot to say about that one. No. This was, again, the expected result. Bin Chickens still winless, still haven't picked up a map at all this season. And if it was going to come against anyone, it really probably wasn't going to be against Blank Blue. You would have thought it was going to be maybe Dignity. But doesn't really work that way, considering they got 4-0 last week by Dignity. So I'm thinking that this is looking like a 4-0, a pretty solid 4-0 for Blank Blue today. They're looking all really, really good at the moment. Hunter's having a good time as well. He's been able to get off that Zenyatta for once in his Contenders career, and he's been playing Roadhog, and he's been doing pretty well on that one. So
good.
Yeah, look, Blank Blue, everything seems to be working pretty nicely for them. No real issues.
Yeah, I guess my only question, Jordan, is that they're not being challenged here. No. And I want to know what they look like when they're being challenged, because when we saw them at the start of the season up against the Drop Bears, it wasn't so great. Yeah. However, I'm not sure who's going to go well up against the Drop Bears. When you only compare them against the Drop Bears, it's a pretty big challenge.
Well, we're going to have to see when we get to playoffs how this Blank Blue roster does. Obviously, we saw them last week against Legacy, 3-1. That was pretty well negotiated by Blank Blue, I thought. So there are decent signs here for Blank Blue. I don't know. I still don't think they're quite at the level that they were last season, or at least at the start of last season. But there's always the possibility to get there. There's still pretty much the same core roster. The only real addition is, of course, Atar, but we know how skilled and what his ability is as a player, so I don't think that should necessarily hurt them. But really the question is, like, not so much the rest of this season for Blank Blue, because it should be pretty easy for them to just close this season out now. The question is who they're going to be going up against in playoffs and how they're going to do there, and if they get to World Labour Arena, then how they're going to go at that LAN, because they really had quite a poor showing at Season 1 finals. They really didn't do as well as they would have wanted to. So they're looking for redemption here this season.
They certainly are, Jordan. Look, I don't know if the start to the season is the one they want, but they're certainly coming back now. The games are easier. They can build back up the momentum heading into playoffs. That's precisely where they need to be. So Blank Blue, 2-0 up against the Bin Chickens. We're going to head into halftime, and when we come back, more Overwatch Contenders Australia. We'll see you soon.